Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video, I had a very simple idea for this video. Epic champions that I could not live without, right? I've been playing this game now for almost 3 years. There's lots of epic champions in this game, and most of them I don't even need anymore. They're not any use to me. However, there's still a bunch that are absolutely top tier that I need basically on my account. If I didn't have those champions, it would ruin my teams and I'd be much worse off. So that's what I wanted to do, to help you and show you, basically which are the best of the best, right? Because I think this makes them the best of the best if I couldn't do without them. So without any further ado, let's go through my champ collection. Let's start picking them out. Let's go. So best epics. Best one. I think the first one, the big one that stands out to me, number one, has to be Godseeker Aniri. Godseeker Aniri is just so unbelievably good. I actually have two of them now for Sand Devil, right? In order to do the Sand Devil dungeon with a reasonable team, it's actually very, very, very hard. The easiest way to do it by far for stage 24 or 25, preferably 5-star Awakening on Godseeker lets you do it much more easily. But Godseeker with someone with HP burns, and you can like duo the dungeon very easily. You can do some fun things as well if you've not got her fully booked, and if you've got her awakened, you can bring in food champions, do stage 25, whole bunch of stuff. But Sand Devil's Necropolis, I think, is a fairly important dungeon to farm. It can give you some really big stat boosts from your gear, late game especially. So yeah, Godseeker, she's got to be on my list. So there she goes in. She's probably number one that stands out to me immediately. Number two, ooh, okay, there's some really good ones here. Does Royal Guard make it? He probably does. Yeah, he probably does. Okay, let's put in Geomancer. Geomancer's got to be number two. Geomancer. He's number two for sure. Geomancer, much like Godseeker, unlocks Sand Devil, and no one else on my account can do that. Geomancer, with this burn and reflecting that max HP back, he's obviously amazing for so many places, but he is essential essential for me for doing iron twins in anything resembling a reasonable speed, right? Which I do my base keys every day, and I do extra keys on Sunday because it's like double rewards basically. He's also fairly essential for some Doom Tower bosses as well. He's Oh, I can't even see the bosses, so I can't, off the top of my head, I can't say. The Poison Spider, though, he's crucial for that. Yeah, I'd say Geomancer has to be on there as just absolutely top tier champ. He's well worth it. And yeah, if he wasn't there, I'd have to rebuild some teams because he still is on them. Next up, Shamael, Inquisitor Shamael. It's gotta be Inquisitor Shamael. I still use this guy all over the place in Hydra, especially on rotations where you've got the Head of Torment coming in. Just amazing, right? Because of this ability to just turn all those spheres into turn meter. He gets turn meter himself. Yeah, just a brilliant champ. He actually has even really good single target damage, massive single target damage indeed, with how the horrors. This champion, he's just brilliant. So yeah, Shamael remains relevant for Hydra. I think, unless you've got loads of two Hanoraks and Dutcha Eye and Krisks lying around so you can extend the Duchess Veil, it's very hard not to need this guy to do really well in Hydra. So he has to go in there for me. I think Royal Guard has to make it in because he is still a champ I use all the time. Royal Guard has to come in. He's obviously brilliant for hard mode Spider with this AoE max HP nuke, but he's brilliant for Hydra as well. Again, AoE enemy max HP, the decreased speed as well. It's just fantastic. And he makes it into so many of my teams because of that. Still makes it in. He's brilliant for Dark Fae as well, which is the most important Doom Tower boss to farm. Again, because of enemy max HP, even decreased defense A1, but also the decreased speed and turn meter pushback is brilliant. A lot in his kit. Yeah, he's just stood the test of time as just being incredibly strong. Next up, probably should pick Seer. I think I will pick Seer. As you guys know, I'm not a fan of Seer, but let's be real. She has to go on the list, right? She has to go on the list. This move, Karma Burn, is just so broken for ripping through Doom Tower hard, for ripping through a few of the hard mode dungeons. Like I do use her for Dragon and for Ice Golem hard. So she's kind of essential there. Yeah, Seer's just amazing. The wave clear potential is just off the scale. Seer is busted, so Seer makes it on the list. I think Stagnite I think Stag Knight makes it to the list as well. I could maybe do without him. Maybe we'll put him further down the list, but Stag Knight, he has to make it on. This guy has remained relevant. It's kind of shocking, but he's come in now to my Fire Knight hard team, right? With the decreased speed, AoE decreased defense and attack on a 3-turn cooldown. It's just a very simple kit, but it's effective. I mean, maybe there's some I don't know, some backups I could bring in instead of Stag Knight. Like maybe Tomb Lord could be made to work, for example. He's a legendary, but I'm going to keep Stag Knight up there. I think, yeah, I think he's very good, but probably put him near the bottom. Husk will come in. Husk, I will put him in. Actually, let's put Husk right in. Royal Guard, Husks here. Let's just put them in all back to back, all the max HP, as it were. But Husk, again, enemy max HP, AoE, brilliant. And then he's got Provoke on his A1. So for Hydra, just fantastic, right? Locking down the head of Decay that can cleanse, but it's vulnerable to Provokes. He brings this while also bringing huge damage, and he's very tanky as well. Husky's fantastic. I've used 2 of them in this Hydra rotation. He keeps coming back as being amazing. And speaking of Hydra, Ugo has got to be in there. You guys know one of my favorite champs. I'm always bringing in Ugo and Shemail to these Hydra videos. It's just so hard not to, but she's just nuts. Decreased defense and block buffs, then while also healing and doing a bit of cleansing, and brings leech as well. It's just amazing. So much support, so much utility in this toolkit to go alongside these enemy max HP champions and a speed control champion. She's just a perfect kit for that. Just remains indispensable for Hydra, really. Yeah, she crops up in my keys all the time. Other champions in here, definitely I can do without. They're nice. Like, I mean, Farrakhan is great, but I don't need him in the same way I need the other ones. Let's look at the vault. Got a lot of champions maxed out here. Anyone that stands out, or is that it? That might be it, guys. Oh no, probably Maneater. Yeah, probably Maneater. I could do without probably the rest. Like Dark Hail is obviously really strong, but I don't think I need him. Vogoth, also really strong, but I don't need him. Demitha, don't need her. I guess, well, I mean, I guess between Maneater and Demitha, you could just make one. Could make one of them work. I'm gonna put Maneater on the list though. Maneater's got to make it on. Maneater, I use him for my clan boss team. Simple enough, right? Unkillable, I use a double Maneater team, so I'm gonna put Maneater in there. Again, I'll put him down here. Maneater. Let's put Stag Knight and Maneater in. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Okay. Yeah, we've got a pretty good list. We'll flick through and we'll see if there's. Can we make it around 10? That would be fun. But yeah, Maneater makes it on. He does the unkillable team so easily for Demon Lord Clan Boss. Now, like I said, I could probably rebuild with Demitha instead, or a legendary unkillable team instead. Like I could build a Helicath team or something. But I'm going to put Maneater in there just because that would be so much work and it'd be such a pain. But it's definitely a lower tier, whereas, you know, you remove Godseeker and I literally just can't do Sand Devil 24. It's probably just impossible. Whereas I could do without Maneater. But, you know, practically speaking, there's no way. Like, I give away legendaries before this, probably, just to make it easier. Is there anyone else that I'm missing here? I don't really think so. I think that might be it. I think they might be the best of the best of the best. Claude could almost make it on. Claude's really good. And I use him all the time. I love him, but I don't feel like I need him. Anyone that is missing any stuff. Final flick through, but I think that's it, guys. Maybe Allure? Okay, let's put on, I think that makes it 10. Yeah, I think that makes it 10. I'll put Allure above Stag Knight and Maneater. Yeah, so 7 that are like absolutely mandatory. Yeah, 7 that are pretty much mandatory for my account. And then 3 that are almost mandatory. Allure. I think Allure would make it on the list, actually. Just so good for that turn meter control, right? So much turn meter pushback. Again, Dark Fae. Dark Fae is the most important boss in the game to farm. She gives lethal gear, which is the best gear for damage dealers in Arena. And a lot of places even. Even a bunch of Hydra damage dealers. Lethal is probably the best for them as well. So yeah, this is just so strong. And then she also has the AoE, which helps to kill off your clones at the start of that fight. I think Allure is just really, really good. And if they ever add in any other bosses that are vulnerable to turn meter, she's going to be completely overpowered for them as well. So I think she has to go on there. So there you go. They are my top, I guess it's top 10 epics. It worked out pretty well. Let me know. What do you think? Are there any that that you would put on the list? for yourself that would be absolutely essential? Or do I have any essential champions that you're like, oh, no, I don't need them, or I don't think they are essential? I mean, like for me, for my account, these ones absolutely are. And these ones I use all the time as well. But let me know. What do you think? How do you find it? I'm curious to hear. And thank you for watching, most importantly. I'll catch you all next time. Goodbye.